Alright, this question asks us to write a Python program which accepts the user's first and last name and print them in reverse order with a space between them. And there is a hint here. You need to use an input function to ask the user for his or her name, and then you use f string at the end. So first we need to ask their first name and then last name. So here we go. For that one, we need to use input function. Here is input, parentheses, input, parentheses, quotation mark, because we need to use a string. Now enter your first name. And then we do the same thing for the last name. Input, parentheses, quotation mark, enter your last name, right? Then we need to use the first name and last name. First, let's run it. Enter your first name, John, and the last name, Doe. You see that there is no space here between the first name and last name, and then basically the user's input. So let's make space, and then we need to print the name now. To do this, let's store the result of these input functions in variables that gives us basically makes it very easy to use them. So for the first one, I use first name, and then for the second one we use last name. From now on, I can basically use first name and last name instead of writing the whole thing. So let's do this. Print, parentheses, quotation mark, your name is first last name and then first name, because the question wants us to do it in that way. Last name space first name. But if you run it, John Doe, your name is last name first name. This is not what we want, right? We want the John Doe, like Doe John, not last name first name. So what can we do for this? We can use a placeholder associated with the f string. So what is placeholder? Placeholder is where you can use these variables to basically retrieve the result of these input functions. So here we go. We use curly brackets around these variables, and we do it for the first name as well. Still, it doesn't change anything. If you run it, you see that it's John Doe, and then your name is last name first name, but we just added curly brackets, so it doesn't really help us with that. Now you need this f string. The only thing you need to do here is just adding f at right at the beginning, after parentheses, before the quotation mark, and you see that it changes the color. Now you can run the code. First name John, last name Doe, your name is Doe John. And that's all about using input function and f string for this practice. Really a great question.